Well, it's time to add some more to let you know what I've been up to.
Hey everyone, we're at the Marriott Hotel Spa Resort here at Florence, Alabama. It is Friday, June 8th, 2018. And so we're just going to take a little tour of the room before we have a chance to mess it up. And then tomorrow for us, but later on this video, we'll do some more work walking around the hotel and show you some of the other things here. I've got to find out what it is about Florence that warrants a hotel like this. Anyway, it's got its closet here, ironing board. I was surprised that a high-class hotel like this did not have a safe in the room, but they do have safe deposit boxes down at the front desk. And, of course, I have a tendency of wanting to know if things are handicap accessible. The door is extra wide, so that means that it's pretty good handicap accessible. Toilet, however, is not really one of the handicap type. Showers not, but yeah, showers over here, and then over on the other side is the bathtub. So the bathtub and the shower are completely separate. And notice that they do have a handicap rail here at the bathtub. Okay, so that's pretty neat. And so, nice little mirror where you can check yourself out, make sure that everything's straight and clean, and you can check out the handsome people there, the good-looking people. So then we come into the bedroom part, and I'm like, wow, you can tell that you're at a high class. We've got the queen beds. Of course, this is just attached to the wall, but this is nice looking. TV stand. A little bit reminiscent of the pyramid with kind of the paneling on the doors here. Now, over here is something that we ain't touching. Bottles of water. $4 if you use their water. We'll get the water out of the sink. And then out here has a balcony. And I mean, look at this swimming pool here. This is one nice swimming pool. And it's got like a jacuzzi over there, several different areas. And earlier tonight, they had the Wizard of Oz playing out on like a big screen, something over there on the side of the pool. So, matter of fact, turned out the Wizard of Oz. For a moment, I thought maybe one of our friends was down there. When we were getting ready to go to supper, to dinner, and later we'll show you where we had dinner. When I start telling about that place, you'll understand why I'm using the word dinner. But anyway, we're walking down the hall, and this little kid who's just come from the swimming pool is just struggling, trying to get into the room and everything. And he says, "Hi, what's your name?" And I said, "I'm Lanny." He said, "What's his name?" I said, "Well, why don't you ask him?" So he asked Michael his name. And so he said, "What are you doing here?" And then the parents said, "Well, this is a hotel. Other people are staying here." And so he was telling me that they came back up here, that they had been swimming, which of course was obvious, a little bit. And he said that they came up, but they were showing a movie down there. They were showing the Wizard of Oz. And then at that point, his twin brother started speaking up. And he said he didn't want to see the Wicked Witch. And the one who was talking to us was like, "Oh yeah, the Wicked Witch is cool." And the mother said, "They're polar opposites." So anyway, we just had a little conversation there until the parents finally got the door open. And the mother said, "Sorry for that." I said, "No, it's fine, it's fine." So that's been kind of our adventure so far. Now, earlier tonight, and we'll have to wait till daylight to show you, we got not only, and the kind of sell the rooms according to whether you have a pool view or a river view. I thought that meant that the pool was on one side and the river is on the other side. No, it depends on how high up you are. We're up on the 5th floor, and so you can see off in the distance like a bridge going across the river there. And it was a really neat view when we first got here, being able to see the river. And I think it will be a really neat view again in the daytime. So we're going to stop for right now, and we'll be back with you later to tell you some things about the Marriott. And we'll go and tour some things in Florence as well. And we'll report back to you later. Bye for now. Well, it's morning time. It's Saturday, June 9th, 2018. And we're checking out the views here at the Marriott in Florence, Alabama. And so, right now, I'm watching a barge that's going through the lock of Wilson Dam over here. There's, of course, the bridge that goes over the dam. Last night at dinner, we were looking at a picture that showed construction of the dam, where the river had been diverted and you just had this dry area. And all the railroad tracks and all the shacks and all of the equipment used to build the dam with. It was quite an interesting thing. So, got a better view, although not necessarily more interesting view since it's daytime and everything. You can actually see the river more. But there was something special last night about being able to see it with the lights reflecting in it. Trees moving up around the pool. Got somebody who's already going out there so that we can spend some time in the sun. So I'm going to kind of step out of the way and have the camera come around where it can look at, see the barge coming through the lock and take a view of the river along with the grounds here at the Marriott. Got a lot of nice walking trails here as well. It's just amazing seeing the design of this place. Of course, the reason for a lock in a dam is that the dam has caused the river to be two different heights. And so in order for the boats to get from one part to the other, they have to go into an area where they can either pump the water up to make it to where the boat is going to be at the same level as the high part, or they're going to have to pump water out so that the boat can be lowered down to the level there. What chairs here and everything. So we're going to get ready to go to breakfast and at some point do some more walking around and tell us some more things about the Marriott before we get ready to go explore Florence a little bit more. So, bon appetit, as we would say. Well, we're exploring the pool area of the hotel, and yes, this is definitely a grand hotel. As we look at the design on the back side, it's designed to be a grand resort hotel. The balconies that every room has, and the view that it has, and it has towels provided down here, and there's some other amenities and everything, the lounge chairs, and little private cabanas, I guess you would say, the flowers and everything that they have around here. So yes, it's been quite a nice experience. There's the patio off of Swampers Grill. So, as much as I would just love to stay here and take it all in, there are other things to be explored. So, there's even more here at the hotel that we got to talk about. So, time to go. Looking out over the grand lobby. As a matter of fact, let's go take a look there for a moment. This is a pretty neat view. Nice woodwork, beautiful furniture, fountain. And coins that don't give to a charity. Yeah, really nice place. I like the lights that they have in the building as well. It's just amazing. I didn't know that they continue to build grand hotels like this. Exploring the grounds of the Marriott here, and later we'll actually have some footage of some of the other things, but just have stuff right now because of the waterfalls behind us. It's just running water like that, the sound of running water, it's relaxing. This whole place, the word in one starts using is magical, fairy tale, and a little bit later we'll describe some of that as well.
looking for was some kind of convention center or something. Marriott's are really nice hotels, but usually they're connected with meetings or something. And I found a few meeting rooms in the hotel, but not many. But as we're exploring the grounds, there is the conference center. It does have the Marriott flag in front of it. Of course, I don't know whether this is a collaboration between the county, the city, and the hotel, or how it's arranged. But again, it has that very nice feel. There's a classical feel to it with the pyramid-type roof, with the strong support of the building, almost a Capitol building feel to it. And at the same time, there's a very elegant, modern feel to it. Well designed. The whole complex is very well designed. After we got settled last night, our experience did become magical. But as Rumpelstiltskin reminded us on Once Upon a Time, magic always comes with a price, dearie. And I'll tell you more about why I'm saying that in a moment. So behind me is the Renaissance Tower. We're on Hightower Plaza, Hightower Street. I thought Hightower Street meant the High Tower. No, Hightower was the name of the family that gave land for some of this that's going on out here. So at the top of the tower is the 360 grill. The floor of the restaurant rotates. And if you stay an hour and 20 minutes, you will end up in the same place where you began. And trust me, the prices of the food are as high as the tower. Now, here's why I'm talking about magic and Rumpelstiltskin. We get up to the top of the tower, and our maitre d' looked just like Mr. Gold from Once Upon a Time. As if that wasn't creepy enough, after we get seated at our table, the guy who comes around to check our water and check on some other things like that looked just like Peter Pan from Once Upon a Time. And then, you can't see it right now, but we'll show it to you later, and I'll remind you of this. As we're going around and we see the tower on the front of the hotel, looking down at it, it looked very much like the clock tower from Once Upon a Time as well. So it was like, okay, if anything else magical happens around here, I want to start looking for evil queens and such like. Anyway, but it was a fantastic meal. Oh, the baked Alaska. Ooh, that was magical as well. Woo. With a little bit of exploring, this place becomes even more magical. On the backside, it definitely had the feel of the Grand Resort Hotel. From up high, it looked like the clock tower from Once Upon a Time. And then from this angle, all of a sudden you get this idea of a castle sitting on top of the hill. You have the Grand Tower entryway, and then the rooms leading off from the entryway. It's just a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of looking around, a slight sense of adventure. Who knew that a hotel could be such an amazing place as well to view, to tour? Behind me, you can see the Renaissance Tower at the Marriott Hotel. Oh, we did get kind of stopped to be questioned about all the videoing that we were doing. As long as we weren't doing any kind of promotional video, we were okay. But last night, while we were at the restaurant, like I said, the floor of the restaurant moves. And so as we're going around, Michael said, "Oh, look, we're up to the gentleman's restroom." So I said, "Well, I might as well go while we're here," which is kind of odd. That's kind of what you say when you stop at a place. I might as well go while we're here. And I got in and out before the table moved completely away from the restroom area. Did find out that the Marriott was built at this site because there's a golf course not too far away. And so there was this guy who likes to put hotels in connections with golf courses. And so he came, and along the way he saw the Renaissance Tower, he saw the conference center, neither one that was being used. And the site between the two was just woods. He fell in love with the spot, and he cooperated with the city so that the hotel brings in business to the conference center. It brought in business to the tower. The restaurant before, the kitchen was underneath the restaurant, and the restaurant didn't rotate like it was supposed to, and food would get cold by the time it got from the kitchen up to the restaurant. So that was part of what was taken care of. He had a vision, and in his vision he had this grand hotel that connected Tennessee River fishing, the conference center, the tower, Helen Keller in Tuscumbia, the W.C. Handy birthplace, and not only the golf course, but Wilson Dam. Now, before, you were able to take tours at certain times inside the dam, see the turbines at work. I remember going through one of those. I don't remember if it was Wilson Dam or if it was Pickwick Dam, but I remember going probably about 45 years ago with Mom and Dad and his parents, my sister and my brother. And one of the things that I'm remembering as I'm sitting here today is how, as children, we were taught to appreciate the beauty and the magnificence in everything around us. Like the bluff that's behind this area here. Just looking at the chiseled out rock. Oh, the fascination that my grandparents had with that. Even the vegetation that's hiding the rock there. My grandfather and my dad loved engineering feats like the Wilson Dam, built somewhere in the 1920s, made out of concrete. And like I said, there's a picture showing how they diverted the river water so that they could put in the tracks and for the railroad and all the equipment so that they could build the dam across the river. Even the smell today, there's just a smell of the river, and it brought back a lot of memories that I haven't thought about in a long, long time. Probably close to 35 years since I've really thought about some of this. It's a great day. Come enjoy sometime if you can. We'll show you more of the place later. We're here at Wilson Dam. That's one of the waterfalls that are in the area. Quite a magnificent force of nature there. This is how the Tennessee River is fed in many ways. Streams and waterfalls that come into it. Let's take a closer look on the river now. You can just hear the power of the water cascading over the rock. And there is an old iron barrier down there. Because years ago, it was okay for people to go wading in. Unfortunately, a small girl managed to get swept through the openings of the barrier and caught in the drain underneath the road. So you see the memorial that had been left for her. A reminder that this is beautiful, but it's powerful. Be very, very careful. So I had a chance to talk with one of the security guards here. So one of the things that he was telling me, I asked, was about the rocks that we're seeing out in the channel there. I thought, aha, that is where the shoals are sticking up. That's where the reason that this part of the river had to be dammed, because of the rocks that made navigation so difficult. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. On the other side of the rocks, you see the lock for the river where the barges come. This side of the river is for locals or people who do fishing. The rocks are things that are actually left over from construction here at Wilson Dam. And the rocks are meant to help keep the fishermen away from the navigational part of the river. Now, how well it works, I don't know, but that's the idea. Also, it's really great fishing there around those rocks. We're going to take a moment to talk about the lock of the dam. So once the dam was built to control the flow of the river, the water is higher on the other side of the dam. And to be able to get a boat, a barge, from one side to the other, you have to go into that concrete area on the far side of the river. If you're going on the low side of the river, you go in, they close the gate behind you, then they pump water in until the water in the lock is level with the water on the high side of the river, and then you can flow out. If you're going in the other direction, the water has to be up. You go in on that side, they close the gate, they pump the water out, and now you're low enough to continue your travel on down the Tennessee River. I want to continue my travels as well. We're about 3 hours from our home in Trenton. And so, not just a real bad trip or anything. And this playground, oh, I love this playground. Right where we are, there are picnic tables, there's walking trails. So it's a place to just have a fun time and everything. But when you look down here, you have the blue and the green, the water and the land. And the water going past the giant turtle, going past an owl in the tree. And the water hits the dam, Wilson Dam, with its warning, dangerous waters over here on it. And just like in real life, the river is higher on this side of the dam. And then you come, the water is flowing through the dam, going through the turbines to make electricity for the Tennessee Valley. And then this becomes a slide. Isn't this cool? And just like in real life, we've gone from the high side of the river to the low side of the river. Neat. We've got a big fish here, and then the river starts flowing on down, and just like it really does, it's kind of split by some of the land, the way you have different channels. So yeah, this is a really, really neat playground. Educational and fun. Oh, bald eagle on top of the dam. We're on the upstream side of Wilson Dam now, and we're overlooking Wilson Reservoir. The Tennessee River is kept at what's called permanent flood stage. That's partly to help with navigation. Parts of the river is already deep enough for navigation, other parts are not. Where we've been, at the day use area, the river is closer to being real, wild, untamed. The water has an energy that you can see, an energy that you can hear. But even that's probably not like the river was long ago. Now on this side of the river, you can look at the dam and see how deep this side is. There's little waves, but it's mainly from the breeze that's blowing. There's not the noise. There's a serenity, but it's not real. Earlier today I heard a story how downstream it's called the Singing River. The natives in the area gave it that name because there was an area where the river just seemed to make music, to sing. And then that has led to some local legends because there's a music studio here where a lot of great musicians have come and recorded at that studio, and the legend is that it has some of the best acoustics for recording, that it's taking power from the Singing River. Now we sort of found this area because when we were trying to find an overlook, we didn't see a sign to tell us to turn here. I was sure that I saw an obelisk over on this side of the road, which I can't find now. And we had a sharp curve, and so we had to take it, and we ended up in the other area. Now, I'm going to get up and I'm going to look for that obelisk. And if I do find the obelisk, I'm going to tell you. If I don't, I'm not admitting that I saw something that's not there. So I'm going to go look now. I'm going to give a report on my missing obelisk anyway. I've gone down in that direction on what looks like to be an old road or something. I found a trail leading down to the river. I found blackberry briars. I found poison ivy. I found what appears to be poison sumac, but I've not found my obelisk yet. We're going to take one more look and then give it up. Off I go another direction. So for dinner last night, we ate at the 360 Grill at Marriott Hotel on the top of Renaissance Tower. For our late lunch, we ate at 306 Court Street for barbecue. downtown Florence. So have we come full circle? No, not quite. Anyway, so we're just here in downtown. While we were down at the 306, I noticed where this guy parked. Well, actually, I didn't notice what was going on until after he left, but apparently he parked, put his lit cigarette down by the door, came in, used the restroom, left, and now here's where I picked up on the story. Picks up his lighted cigarette, starts smoking again, and goes to his car and leaves. So I'm assuming that probably he knows the people real well there to just go use the restroom. So it's about, according to the clock on Court Street, 3 o'clock. We have not covered near what we had hoped to get done in Florence, but that's okay. We can take our time. We can come back another time. We can just enjoy. So, looking at this building that's across the street from us, this is a design that's called the Egyptian Revival. And the main reason it's called that is because of the design on the top of the fake columns on the side of the building. That's your Egyptian Revival. Behind us we have the State Farm building, and it has been very painted up. It is definitely a painted lady, as is the building that's next to it. Now these, I really don't know the exact design of them. I suspect it is Italianate, but I won't say for sure. One reason I say Italianate is the half circles, arches that run across the top of the porch area and the post. Some of the work, some of the decorative work up above the windows. Same thing with the building next to it. Brackets that are underneath the roof line. These are some of the examples of Italianate. But of course, a lot of times the Victorian era people, they just mix together whatever they like. That's why sometimes your Victorian houses are called monstrosities. Not because of the size of them, not because of being run down, but because it has too many conflicting designs put into it. On down the street, you see a building that says South Hall on it. This was built around 1900 in the Italianate style. It's got the brackets, it's got the arched windows on it. It remained a drugstore for many, many years and became a multi-functional building. I've not been to Florence since probably the late 80s, early 90s. And last time that I was here, there was an actual working department store. The building is still there. It's in the Art Deco design. The one time I went there with some friends, they had a doorman at the front door. They had the floor walkers. I mean, it was just like you were in an elegant department store, except here in Florence, Alabama, where you don't really think about that. There's a store down there that the Fred's department store is in, and it has a Star of David printed in the decorative part of it. There's another store that it talked about how it was designed, and maybe South Hall, but it was designed by somebody from New York, and it was the first building in Florence to have rubber tile flooring. So it kind of makes me think that we got some Jewish background, because it's a lot like with the Freeds, where their house was the first to have certain modern conveniences. It is pretty obvious to us that downtown Florence is doing well because they have parking meters. Most downtowns have gotten rid of their parking meters, because if you had a choice of going to the shopping center with free parking or going downtown and having to pay to park, which one would you choose? The one with the free parking. So many of the downtowns got rid of their parking meters to try to get people to come. But here in Florence, you have active parking meters, and so they're doing pretty well. One other building that I want to talk about for a moment is on the other side where we're parked. It's an old bank building. And it's parked up there in Tennessee Valley Bank. And that probably predates the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, because we are in the Tennessee River Valley. Florence was founded because the river was founded to make use of the river traffic when you could. Lumber, cypress lumber in the area. So, and been told, I haven't checked for the accuracy, but I'm being told that Henry Ford even looked at a possibility of putting his automobile factory in Florence instead of Detroit, because the river would have been a source of energy. So, that is a terribly quick overview of Florence, because we just haven't had time to explore as much as we'd like to. Maybe another time. As we continue our researching, exploring, as we continue our exploring of Florence and the Quad City area, just like with Murfreesboro, Tennessee, another college town, there is an incredible amount of walking trails along the way. And we're here at one of the walking trails right now called Low Shore Trail. Yeah, that's a good name for it, because the trail is right here at the edge of the Tennessee River. And where we are at this particular point is underneath the remains of a railroad bridge. Now, the bridge has not been used since like 1988. It was abandoned by the Norfolk Southern Railroad at that time. And we'll talk more about the bridge as we go along. The original bridge was built in the early 1800s, destroyed during the Civil War. But one of the unusual aspects is it was a double-decker bridge. The railroad track ran on the top level, and the bottom level, which we're sitting directly under now, was for pedestrian traffic. It was a toll road for people to get across the river. It was destroyed at one point where a train and a locomotive and 5 cars crashed through the upper part. They used it as a ferry. The bridge, the O'Neill Bridge, right on the other side of it, pretty much led to the demise of the walking part of the bridge here. Earlier today, somebody referred to this as the Singing River Bridge. I'm not sure which one they were talking about. Were they talking about the railroad bridge? Were they talking about the O'Neill Bridge? Again, this is a story where the natives said that the river could sing, that the river could make music. And even now, we're hearing the lapping of the river against the shore. Not really musical, but yet something. And yes, you are hearing music in the background. It has nothing to do with the legend, because on the other side of the O'Neill Bridge is a great big park that is set up with all sorts of tents and everything. There's some kind of great big something going on over there, and the music you're hearing is coming from the park. We'll probably talk about this again, but it is said that sometimes you can hear the sound, a ghostly sound of a train running over the trestle. Could just be an echo from the O'Neill Bridge. Could be a mysterious sound coming from the singing river, which has gotten very quiet since we've started talking about that. Or it could be something else. Who knows? Little object lesson here. We found out what's causing the strange lapping noise. Right down there, the river is beating up against the shore. But there's nothing on the river to cause that. Oh, listen to it. It's getting very forceful now. But there was something just a few minutes ago. And we think that that's what caused it before. A powerboat just went past us a few minutes ago. It took several minutes after the powerboat went by before the ripples of energy across the river made it to the shore. And those ripples continued for quite some time after the powerboat has gone. You cannot hear the powerboat. If you did not know, you would be like, what kind of monster is in there that's churning up the water? Because there's such a distance between the cause and the effect. So if a powerboat went in the other direction, I would not have seen it nor heard it, but I did see its effects. But it was enough to spook me for a moment when I was telling the stories about the strange sounds. Let's go see what else we can find out. So we're at the end of the line. Figuratively, literally, this is as far as what the railroad bridge goes now. The rest of it was demolished after the railroad abandoned the line. Plus there would have been either a lift bridge or a turn bridge to allow for navigation. Now, I don't know if you can tell in the camera or not, it is raining. We were about halfway across this bridge when I looked at, well, we would have made it all the way down here, except we got distracted by a heron that actually let Michael take pictures of it. Of course, it was kept an eye on me and didn't realize he was around there. But we saw the rain coming up the river, and yeah, it's kind of like we're down at the end. I'm just seeing a balloon get away, two balloons get away. So it's like, okay, I'm not going back without finishing this. We were talking about the noise If you've enjoyed watching this blog of our trip and everything, hope that you will share, subscribe to the channel. Got all sorts of information there, and we'll see you another time.